A group of 5 thieves, each with a unique skill set, had been planning the perfect heist for months. The target was one of the largest and most secure banks in the city, an institution that seemed untouchable to ordinary criminals. But this group was no ordinary crew. They were experts in their craft, each with their own specialty: hacking, surveillance, disguise, explosives, and logistics. It all started when Victor, the mastermind of the group, proposed the idea. He had been working as a consultant for various firms and had learned the ins and outs of financial systems, especially banks. After months of studying the bank's security, he discovered a critical vulnerability. The bank had an outdated security system in one of their vaults, which wasn't upgraded during the latest security overhaul. This was their chance. Victor assembled his team: Julian, the hacker; Emily, the surveillance expert; Luca, the master of disguise; Carla, the explosives specialist; and Mike, the logistics planner. Each of them had a history of pulling off smaller but lucrative heists. This would be their biggest score yet. The plan was simple: infiltrate the bank, disable the security, crack the vault, take the money, and escape without a trace. They began by gathering information. Julian hacked into the bank's network, obtaining blueprints of the building and key details about the vault system. Emily installed hidden cameras and used facial recognition software to map the security guards' routines. Luca went undercover, posing as a contractor to get close to the staff and gather inside intel. Mike worked on a safe house they could use to lay low after the heist, while Carla made sure the explosives she would use were precise and undetectable. The day of the heist finally arrived. The team was ready. They had rehearsed the operation several times, and every possible scenario had been accounted for. Everything was going according to plan. The first phase was to disable the bank's surveillance system, which was done effortlessly by Julian, who bypassed the firewalls and disabled the cameras within minutes. Emily confirmed that the guards would be blind to their every move for the next few hours. With the cameras down, Luca, dressed as a janitor, entered the bank and began setting up the internal diversion. He created a small fire alarm malfunction that forced the building's evacuation plan to be initiated for a short while, causing confusion among the staff. This allowed the rest of the team to enter without suspicion. While the employees were evacuating, Carla placed timed explosives around the lower levels, designed to distract and incapacitate the bank's security system without causing any long-term damage. Meanwhile, Victor and Mike were already inside, heading towards the vault. The entire group knew that getting to the vault was the hardest part of the plan. The vault was a massive, high-security area requiring biometric scans, a coded entry, and multiple passcodes. But Victor had prepared for this. He had learned the patterns of the bank's security staff and anticipated when the guards would be least attentive. He had also bribed a janitor to leave a keycard in the staff lounge, which Mike was able to use to gain access to the vault's code entry system. Luca, still posing as a janitor, had used his cover to go down to the vault and disable a few of the more sensitive alarms. By the time Victor and Mike reached the vault, they were almost home free. The codes were entered, the door opened, and the pile of cash was theirs for the taking. The vault was filled with millions bags of cash, untraceable bonds, and gold bars. The team couldn't believe how smoothly it was all going. However, things started to take a turn when one of the guards unexpectedly returned to the building early. Emily had to act quickly, rerouting him down a different hallway using the security system. She had just enough time to guide him safely out of their path. But as soon as the guard left, a silent alarm triggered. A backup system designed to alert the authorities without anyone noticing had been tripped. Victor didn't panic. He had anticipated this scenario and quickly activated their escape plan. Carla's bomb, deafening chaos. The rest of the team rushed to the exit, carrying the money in large duffel bags. The escape was fast. Mike had arranged for a getaway vehicle, a sleek black van waiting outside the back entrance, while Luca and Emily ensured the road ahead was clear. They drove through the city's back streets, using prearranged routes to avoid detection. Once they were out of sight, they changed vehicles and continued their journey to the safe house. But the police weren't far behind. An alert had gone out, and the roads were filled with patrolling officers. The team didn't panic, though. They knew exactly how to stay one step ahead. As they neared their destination, the plan changed. Instead of heading to the safe house as originally planned, they had to go underground. Mike had prepared a secondary escape route, a remote airstrip outside the city where a private plane was ready to take them away. As the plane lifted off, the city faded into the distance. They were free. Each of them now had more money than they had ever dreamed of. The heist had been flawless, no one had been caught, and their wealth was safely in their hands. The money was divided among them equally, and each of them moved on to start a new life. They used their shares to live lavishly, disappearing into the shadows, living in luxury, knowing they had pulled off the heist of a lifetime. Years later, none of them had been caught. They had lived a high life, spending their money on extravagant homes, luxury cars, and world travel. But in their hearts, they all knew it wasn't just about the money, it was about the thrill, the planning, and the execution of the perfect crime. The story of the heist became a legend, whispered in the shadows by those who dreamt of doing the same